What is going on, everybody? It is Jackson and Steven from Dinger Dudes, and today we have another episode. Today we are joined by Justin Ayers. Justin, thank you so much for coming back on the show. How's your day going, and how'd you like All Star break, man?
It was good. Yeah, it was great. Thanks for having me back on. It was All Star Week was fun. I think it was probably one of the top All Star weeks that I can remember.
I'm excited to review this All-Star week. It was here in Atlanta. Me and Steven are currently located in Georgia. Me personally, I'm not a Braves fan, but Steven is a big Braves fan. And I wanted to get both of your guys' opinion on this since you're both fans of National League East teams. And both of you guys had a participant in the Home Run Derby, Matt Olson and James Wood. Justin, I want to start with your opinion on this past week's Home Run Derby.
I thought it was good. I mean, this is the, whatever year in a row this is of the format of like, the timed rounds. And it's just kind of hard to keep up with the split screen of where the ball's landing and the next one's being thrown. And you're just kind of going back and forth and getting pretty dizzy. I don't really know why we're still with this format. It does make me nostalgic for 10 outs, but I actually switched over to the ESPN2 StatCast broadcast because it was like a static camera feed of like them launching the balls and then a graph showing where they landed as opposed to just whipping back and forth. But I thought it was good. I thought that we're having a lot of like guys in their early to mid 20s launching balls. Pretty much the staple of a derby. You have to be like 23 years old and have a lot of bat speed. I think that's the key.
So I did want to ask you your opinion on this. I saw somebody post, I believe it was Cody Decker. He's a former MLB player. He is also part of Fox Sports One, and he said there wasn't any star power, star players in this home run derby. Do you agree with that take? Yes or no?
No, because you had Cal Raleigh, the major league leader in home runs, or the whatever leader is in home runs in there. Guys like Aaron. You're never going to get Aaron Judge to do it again.
Yeah.
Probably, he said he's already done it once. He doesn't really need to do it again. Um, the Harpers, the Juan Soto's, like those guys don't really need to do it. But it's not as bad as like an NBA All Star, like an
Mhm.
NBA slam dunk contest where you're getting like some G League type player playing it. You have enough star power as it is. I would
Yeah.
push back against there's not that many big names doing it.
Now, Steven, I saw your face after
That's
I
such a
expressed this.
weird take. I mean, I don't know what you consider a star. I mean, you have guys that were like obviously big boppers that were in the Derby. You have O'Neal Cruz, you had Cal Riley. I mean, Matt Olson, no, he's not a superstar, but he's also a big bopper for the Braves. You had like, really great players in this Derby, and like all of them really put on a show. And my whole thing is like you can have these guys. Obviously, you're not going to get an Otani or Judge um or like a Juan Soto in this Derby again because they've already done it. They've had their experiences. Pete Alonso's done it, numerous times, and he's
Five
won
times.
numerous derbies. There's no point in them going back and doing it again
Mm.
unless there's some type of major cash prize that a derby happens to be. If they start doing something where it's like whoever wins gets a $500,000 cash prize, then maybe you see the stars again because they like money. But like I said, that gives an opportunity to like have these players. It's on a national broadcast. You get guys like Caminero from the Rays that not a lot of people have heard of, and he made it all the way to the finals. Now a lot of people know who he is. So I feel like it's a great opportunity for like make listen. You can have your superstars, but have these young guys come up and show what they have too. You
Mm.
know, and Brent Rooker's a star, man. That's also
Oh,
another one
oh,
that won
100%.
this derby.
Everyone knows I'm a big Brent Rooker fan. I actually just ordered a Brent Rooker Athletics jersey as a Cardinals fan. I'm a big Brent Rooker fan, and I wanted him in the Derby last year when he hit 40 bombs, or he hit like 20 something bombs at the break. So kind of related to the Derby, I have a next question for you guys. The format, Justin, you brought this up previously. Me personally, I am a fan of the 10 outs. I didn't really understand why they changed it. Because in 2008 you saw Josh Hamilton put on a master class. I believe it was in I forgot where the 2008 Derby was, but Josh Hamilton 28 homers in the first round with a set of 10 outs. I kind of want to ask your guys' opinion on the format. Justin, I see that you're in clear favor of the 10 out format. Do you think that the MLB will ever change that back, or do you think they should change that back, in your opinion?
No, they probably never will. I think the whole thing was it took too long.
Yeah.
So they, decided to go to these timed rounds and, like that whole system. I think that's just kind of the state of baseball is everything they want it to be faster, like pitch clock and all this stuff. So
Yeah.
I don't think we're ever going to go back to it. But you know, I still go back on YouTube and watch old highlights of Josh Hamilton 2008.
Yeah. Steven?
We've seen this format work, or at least with like the time rounds and everything work in previous derbies. My favorite derby personally was the one with Jock Peterson and Vladimir Guerrero when they were going back and forth when that incredible round. I think that's one of the best rounds of the home run derby in its history. But like you said, like I want to go back to the classic 10 outs too, because that's what you grew up on. I mean, that's just
Yeah.
the classic part of the derby. And as far as the time frame goes, listen, man, I get it. Viewers sometimes they get bored, or they just kind of turn it off. Like that's not me. On my end, I will never turn off a home run derby. That was my favorite thing growing up to watch. And
Yeah.
the 10 outs, listen, man, it's the home run derby. It's the All Star break. Why are we all trying to get this done early? Let the guys go out. Let's have some fun. Let somebody go get to. I mean, like you said, Giancarlo Stanton had one of the best home run derby rounds I've ever seen with the 10 out format. Like, let's go back to that format and let's see what these guys can do. Like, imagine Shohei Ohtani in a 10 out format home run derby round. It would do numbers. It would be incredible to watch.
Would be incredible to watch. I really wish Shohei would participate in another derby. Now, Justin, you did bring up the fact about rules changing in baseball, such as the pitch clock. I want to bring up the All Star game. We got a glimpse of how the ABS system works in Major League Baseball. We've had previous interviewees, former MLB players and minor league players who've had experience in the game with the ABS system. I want to get a perspective from outside the Dinger Dudes, your personal opinion on the ABS system.
I like the challenge system. I think it works well. You saw the Cal Raleigh and Scooble, obviously, when it was funnier because they're mic'd up when they were doing it. But in the first inning of the All Star game, I think that format it's worked at AAA. They've had it there for a couple of years. I think Manfred said that like they're going to work this offseason, could be implemented next year as like a full year MLB type thing, not just in the spring training. I like it. It's a funny thing because like catchers, most of it, there's like an unwritten rule that catchers are supposed to be the ones that initiate the challenge because pitchers want every strike. So if you
Mhm.
have a pitcher trying to like challenge every single thing, you're going to burn your challenges, and it's like a strategy type thing.
So I kind of have a rebuttal question to this. You know, you're a longtime fan of the game, and I know a lot of people have mixed emotions about the ABS system, like the personable side of the game, whether to the robotic and AI side of the game. Do you think that takes away from the personable side of the game?
No, because you still have the ump back there, and he's
Hmm.
still calling balls and strikes. I think if you go full robo zone, that's when it becomes like, they clip the zone by like a millimeter, it still gets called or whatever. So like that would probably not be as great, but I like the challenge. I like the challenge. I like the strategy of it because if you burn him in the early part of the game and you're in a crucial spot in the ninth inning, like oh crap, it'd be nice to have him there. So yeah, I think it's if they just go full challenge system with it, I think they'll be fine.
I completely agree. Steven?
Yeah, my take on this, man. There have been some egregious calls in MLB history. I mean, we have seen, like famous umpires known for making horrible calls, Angel Hernandez, CB Buckner. Like, there have been calls, like, if it's 2 inches off the plate, I feel like as a pitcher and as a catcher, we should have an opportunity. If you're going to bring the challenge system into the game of baseball, there should be an opportunity and to at least challenge that call or to at least look at it again because, like, those are game situations to where, like, it's a big out in the ninth inning or a big out in the seventh to where like that strike call gets me out of the inning and it gets my offense back up. And I'm not saying it should be like for the whole thing. And that's why I really feel like this ABS system works so well is because you only get 3 times during the game. It's 3 challenges and you're only going to be using those situations in like really like crucial situations to help your team win the game. So I'm totally for it. I understand, like people want to have this human element to the game. Well, that quickly changes when it's your team, when it's your batter at the plate, and you're getting a ball called 12 feet of like, or you're getting a strike call that's like right above the strike zone. You want to have that opportunity to challenge the call.
I like the fact that you brought up crucial games because I had a former guest on Dinger Dudes that I got the opportunity to interview, Dominic Leone. I asked him this. He was part of that 2021 Giants team, and a lot of people remember this playoff game where it was the Giants and Dodgers in an elimination game, and clearly the Giants batter, I forgot who it was. He did not cross the plate, did not cross the plane, but the umpire called it a strike and game over replay was not shown. So I understand the ABS system in crucial points, but sticking on the topic of the All Star game, I actually wanted your guys' opinion on this. Obviously, ends in a 6-6 tie in before extra innings, and then it goes to a swing off. You have Aaron Boone, who has the whole bag of AL All Stars right there,
I,
decides to choose Randy Rosarena, Jonathan Aranda, and who was the last
Brett
All
Rooker.
Star? Brent Rooker. I mean, Brent Rooker and Rosarena, I understand, but Jonathan
Aranda
Aranda.
was crazy cool.
So, what are your guys' thoughts on the swing off and what Aaron Boone's decision was? Starting with Justin.
I think the only reason they did that was because those were the only guys that were still there and had their uniforms on. I think Judge had already left. I think all the big name guys had already like gone back and showered and taken their uniforms off and stuff. So I think Aranda probably wasn't his first choice, but looking
Yeah.
down the bench, I think he was probably just the only one that was still there. So I don't blame Aaron Boone for going with him. He's got a little pop this year. Aranda can, launch a couple, but the swing off was cool. I don't mind it in an exhibition format. Obviously, we're not going to see it in regular season ball or playoffs or anything like that, but it was fun. There's nothing wrong with it.
To be honest, I wouldn't mind that
No,
over the extra base runner. I
absolutely not.
enjoyed it. To be honest, I enjoyed it. But I
The
don't think
the
it's going to be implemented in a game, in like a regular season or playoff game.
it's a great way to end the game in like this all-star format. And the all-star game format, absolutely. Let's have some fun. Let's have your big boppers come out of the dugout. Let's have a swing off and let's have a great moment like you saw with Kyle Schwarber getting 3 pitches and sending them all over a wall. Like that's a great moment. That's fantastic. The
Mhm.
fact that he won All-Star MVP is kind of hilarious and like a swing off situation. But I digress. It's the All-Star game. What are you going to do, man? It's a great way to end the game. It's a fun way. It's a fun thing for the fans to watch. I think it's a great thing for the All Star game. But for the people that are saying that this should end games in like an actual regular season like situation, absolutely not. I'm sorry, man. I'm one of the guys where it's just like, listen, I'm all for the ABS system. I'm all for the pitch clocks. But the moment we're starting to end games with like a swing off with three of your guys, three of the other teams, that's when I believe, okay, we're taking this too far. That's when this game's starting to like we're moving into a direction that we do not need to be moving into.
Speaking of taking the game too far, Stephen, I know your opinion on this. I know the Twins' opinion on this. Justin, obviously you've seen circulating the golden batter rule. I don't think that's ever going to be implemented in the Major League Baseball at all. But what are your thoughts on if that were to ever happen, which hopefully it doesn't ever happen, because I don't want to be in a situation against the Cubs and you're bringing Kyle Tucker up to bat after he just batted three batters prior. So I want to ask you your opinion on the golden batter rule.
That's probably just God, it's been so long since that's a great throwback. I haven't even thought about the golden batter controversy in a while, but
Mhm.
I think that was just one of those things they just kind of threw out there. You'll never see it. I think that there's some things that like, you can mess around with the game. You can do the runner on second and extras. You can do this, do that, pitch clock, but like the
Mhm.
fundamental of of the game, you can't really do that with.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that was a all-time pull right there.
I appreciate it. It popped in my mind. So I mean, I do before we get into our snake draft of the episode, I do want to ask y'all. We have the opportunity here to kind of give our testimonies on our favorite MLB teams during the season. What are your first half thoughts? And then we're gonna go into second half thoughts, second half breakout stars with the snake draft. So Justin, you're a Nationals fan, also a Rays fan, because I know you show a lot of advocacy for your Tampa Bay Rays. So I want to ask you personally, how do you like the standing of your Nationals to this point in the MLB season?
Nationals bad. I've mentally tuned them out. I looked today; they were down like 8 runs in the first or something. I was like, "This is great," because I now don't have to
Mm.
pay attention. It's great when your team's that bad. It's kind of nice because you can mentally just be like, "No, not watching today." It's weird. They're in a weird state. They need to hire Mark DeRosa as their manager. They
Yeah.
need to hire an actual GM. There's a lot of things going wrong with the Nationals. They need to figure out the pitching because giving up 10 a night. But
You want
Rays,
Eric Fetty back?
I don't think he would come back, and I don't. I think that would probably soured. But yeah, what were you say?
there are like exciting things to happen about like that are for the Nationals right now. I mean, having James Wood, I mean, CJ
Mhm.
Abrams is going to be a great player for y'all for years to come as your shortstop. And even though Gore obviously had a very bad game today, I know he's on my fantasy team, but he's been great for y'all this year. You know, he is an ace
Mhm.
that y'all can have in your rotation for years to come. So there is exciting things for the Nationals, but it's just a matter of like, getting more guys in there, and eventually y'all are going to get to a point. I'm not saying it's going to happen, for the next couple of years, but y'all are getting to a point where y'all are going to start competing in this division again.
Speaking of the next couple of years, I do want to ask you, Nationals took Eli Willits #1 overall. What are your opinions on taking Eli Willits? Because we did a live coverage on Instagram and we all thought it was either going to be Cade Anderson or Ethan Holiday. What are your opinions on taking Willits, 17-year-old out of high school?
I did a video on this like an hour after they drafted him. Not a fan,
Mhm.
but I also threw in the caveat if he turns out to be like Derek Jeter, you can dunk on me. I don't care. But yeah, they should have taken the pitcher. They have no pit. They have
Yeah.
Mackenzie Gore, who's
Hmm.
great, and they don't have a lot else. They have a couple other guys that are coming off injuries. Like if Cade Cavalli can come back and be good, that's great. I would have went with the pitcher from LSU, Anderson. I think
Hmm.
he's like a higher floor guy. I don't know. Willits is 17. Who like there's a lot of time and a lot of development that has to be done. And I'm not sure the Nationals player development is up to par lately, but yeah, I wouldn't have went. It's probably just an underslot. I mean, they had some really good like round 2, 3, 4 picks. So
Yeah.
um, for a #1 overall pick though, I would have went something a little more, a little flashier.
I mean, we do see these shortstop prospects. I understand he's out of high school, but a lot of shortstop prospects are molded into a second base or a third base potential decision. I mean, you got Brady House there, who looks like a Nationals third baseman to come, and then your second baseman, you have Luis Garcia Jr. So, I mean, I understand being mad at the Willits pick. I honestly thought they were going Holiday or Anderson. You got Gore, you got Irvin, and I know I said the last time Jake Irvin was an NL Cy Young dark horse candidate the last time. It's not looking good right now, but I like the Nationals for years to come. But I want to talk about the National League East rival of the Nationals, Steven. What are your thoughts on the Braves this season so far?
If you want to know my thoughts, just look at the game yesterday. We
Mhm.
were up 7-2 in the fifth inning, and then you know, shoot, what's his name? The pitcher that we had yesterday was doing good. You know, he pitched through 4 innings, and then we brought in our bullpen, and every single person in our bullpen at least gave up 1 run
Yeah.
for the next 5 innings. Now the Yankees, great offense. You know, they're I know they've been having their struggles, but that Yankees offense is never going to be one to sit there and take lightly. You know, they can get hot just at the right time, and they did. They scored. They scored all their runs in the last 5 innings, and they ended up beating us 12-9. And it was just a very awful situation because we sit there. Your offense actually gives you run support, and your bullpen can't sit there and shut it down. Raisel Iglesias, I'm
Mhm.
about ready. You know, he needs to get traded. Marcelo
Yeah.
Zuna, he needs to get traded. We need to start giving away these contracts that we have on our last year. Um, like if we're gonna buy whatever, I mean, now we're 11 games under 500, and we're almost 10 and a half back of the wild card. I don't think there's any hope of us having a miraculous second half comeback. We keep on losing series. We haven't won a Sunday game since May. This it's just like I said, man. There's no fire in this team. There's no fire when it comes to the fan base, or at least I don't have any fire for this team anymore. It's a tough situation. We're gonna miss out on the playoffs for like the first time in I don't know since 2018. It's a very sad time to be a Braves fan. But I don't know, man. In August we're getting to see Chris Sale and Swellenbach back, so at least we might have to see
Ronaldo
we get to see
Lopez
some
too.
fun. We get some fun stuff going. I don't care.
Hey, I
I don't care. I
just to
don't
be
care.
honest, I love the smile on Justin's face, hearing Braves fans just in agony. But I'm not loving the Cardinals standing right now. We're 51 and 48, and since coming back from the All Star break, right now I'm watching the game. Brendan Donovan's at the plate. We're losing 5-1. So we've been outscored 22-5 in our game since coming back from the All Star break. We need to get rid of Fetty. That's why I asked Justin if he would gladly take Fetty back. Miles Michaelis, he needs to go. 38 years old. Hasn't been good since 2018, pre-pandemic. So, I'm loving Brendan Donovan. Again, the Cardinals are in this transitional period. They have a bunch of veterans who that's their mindset. The veterans will take care of it. Clearly, that's not the case. We need to bring up our guys like Michael McGreevy, keep him there. Andre Granillo, keep him there. JJ Weatherholt is doing his thing out in AAA, hitting 315 right now. So, bring him up too. He's and 5-2. Okay. And we just left. Oh, sorry. I'm being thrown off by the game. We left runners on base. But yeah, the Cardinals, I would love to see some pitching come to our team during the break, move Matz back to the rotation. I mean, that's just kind of where I'm at. But speaking of the second half, I think it is time to get into our snake draft topic of the day. If you guys weren't paying attention earlier in this episode, it is second half breakout stars. Justin Ayers, you're our guest. So we're going to do it in a snake draft format. Do you want pick number one, two, or three? And how many picks do you guys want? Because Justin, I know you have three players listed right now.
I could go four. I have four.
Four? Steven, does that
Yeah,
sound good
I
to
have
you?
four guys.
That's fine.
All right. So, Justin, do you want pick number one, two, or three?
I'll take pick one.
Pick one. All right. Steven, two or three? I'll leave it up to you.
Well, I'll pick three.
Okay. Now I'll take number two. I'll gladly take it. So, starting off with Justin, we're doing four players each. Who's your first pick for second half breakout stars?
Baltimore Orioles catcher Adley Rutschman.
Hmm.
He has been out since mid-June with an oblique. He's on a rehab assignment in Norfolk this week. I know the first 2 months of the year he was like a 200 hitter, but if you look at the month of June, 15 games, he was hitting 309. He was barreling everything up. He's walking more. His expected numbers are strong. I think you're going to see Adley become more of like a traditional Adley type year in the second half.
That's who I actually wanted it too. But I will go with another guy. Let's go with an infield guy. I'm really liking this Los Angeles Angels team so far this season. Right now, sitting around the 500 range. You've seen stars in Joe Adell. In my opinion, Joe Adell should have been in the home run derby. I would have loved to see him there. Finally showing the true value of his pick in the draft. But I'm gonna go with his teammate Nolan Chanel, and here's why. Right now has a 113 plus OPS, a 1.6 B WAR, and that's doubled what he had at the All Star break last year. 8 homers, 40 RBIs. So Nolan Chanel is looking to double his numbers last year. Projected 25 homers, like a 287 batting average at the end of the year. So give me Nolan Chanel. Might be a little bit early, but I'll take him. Steven?
So I don't know what it comes to like, when you're looking at second half comebacks and guys that have just had awful first half. You could just go about that with anybody in the Braves lineup. So biasly, my first pick will be somebody that's in the Braves lineup because I believe that this guy will have a nice second half standout and he's already starting off really good. I'm going to go ahead and go Ozzy Albies. He's been, just very underwhelming. I mean, the power numbers have been way down. The
Yeah.
off base percentage has just not been there. But you're seeing some better swings, better swing timing when it comes to the pitches. In the strike zone. The power numbers, I feel like, are going to go up. He's going to have a nice little power surge going in the second half, and I feel like the on base percentage is going to get there. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go Ozzy with that pick. Now, the second pick that I have here is somebody biasly on my fantasy team. And it's because like it's not exactly like that he's had a very bad a bad first half. It's just an underwhelming first half considering the pitcher that he is. My second pick is going to go ahead and be Luis Castillo. I think that the pitching's there for him. Like the stuff's just been kind of off. These left pitches inside the zone that have just been really bad. But I think Castillo this second half, he's going to get it under control. He's going to have better location. And I really feel like he's going to get that ERA down and he's going to be a nice ace to get this Mariners into the playoffs.
With my second pick, I'm actually going to go with Justin's Washington Nationals. And we mentioned him, well, I mentioned him earlier on in this episode. I'm going to go with Brady House. I'm looking at over his final 10 games, 293 average, 310 OB. Yeah, that's right. 2 homers and 3 RBIs on July 12th. Again, I think he can be a big power bat for this Washington Nationals team. I've liked what I've seen in AAA so far, and he's shown a lot of promise at the MLB level so far. So I the last Nationals third baseman that showed me promise was Anthony Rendon, and we know how well he did in the Nationals organization. So give me Brady House at my number two pick. Justin.
All right, I was looking at the board. I'm gonna go Brian Reynolds, Pittsburgh Pirates.
Mhm.
I think he's been the victim of hitting in a very bad Pirates lineup. I think he's a great candidate to get moved at the trade deadline, so he'll probably go to a better situation. There's something too, just like if you're in a bad lineup, just like there's not that many guys on base. It's just the overall vibes are bad in Pittsburgh. So I'll look for him to bounce back whenever he gets traded.
Next
And
pick.
yeah, I have the
So,
wrap around here. I'm gonna go Cole Ragans. He's
mm,
injured right now, but I think whenever he comes back, probably middle of next month, his expected stats, his baseball savant, like expected ERA is 2.67, his ERA is 5. So, he's getting pretty unlucky in Kansas City. So I think whenever he comes back, he'll be fine.
Hey, I'm hoping he's going to be fine. He's on my fantasy team. He's one of two players out. I actually want to go with a pitcher as well. So I want to go with Miami Marlins pitcher. Has had a great start to his 2025 season, and I want to go with Jansen Junk. Jansen Junk right now has a 2.68 ERA, a 2.13 FIP, and his strikeout to walk ratio is absolutely insane. 38 to 4. One of the bright lights for this young Miami Marlins team. I just think he continues onto that. He had a little rough quality starts before the All Star break, but I want to go with Jansen Junk as my third pick. Steven.
So yeah, I'm trying to go through my head about what this next pick's going to be because I have somebody that's in mind and somebody that's we've seen him have surges here. I'm hoping that the second half's going to be good for him, but again, I'm going to go ahead and go Philadelphia Phillies Bryson Stott because
Mhm.
it's been again very underwhelming season for him. The numbers have just been off. Like the power numbers are way down. He's not getting on base as much. The average is down as well. But I think that what he's capable of and like what he can do in this lineup is very underrated. I feel like this second half, like the numbers are going to be up for him. He's going to get on base more consistently. And like you said, man, when it comes to the second half Phillies team, you know that this entire lineup could just go off at any moment. And you know that there's going to be a time when this whole entire lineup is just going to be on a hot surge, and Bryson Stott's going to be in the middle of that entire surge. So I think Stott's going to have a good second half.
Yeah, 30 seconds left in this meeting.
All
I
right,
didn't
I'm going to
realize.
go Alcantara.
Oh, Sandy Alcantara. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually want to go with for my final pick. I'm gonna go with the San Francisco Giant. He signed like $180 million contract before the season started, and I see a lot of rumors about the San Francisco Giants shopping for a third base shortstop replacement. So hopefully that contract lit a fire under this guy. He was formerly on my fantasy team, Willie Adames. I really hope he turns it around.
Yeah.
Now, Justin, for your final picks.
I'm going to go Dylan Cease, San Diego Padres. Strikeout and walk stuff is the same as last year. I think he's getting unlucky with the ERA. I think you'll have a way better ERA in the second half.
That was your final pick?
Yeah, we're doing 4, right?
That
Yes. So
was it.
Justin, who's your four as of right now?
I had Rutschman, Brian Reynolds, Cole Ragans, and Dylan Cease.
Steven, who's your four team?
Alcantara, Stott, Castillo, and I can't remember who I picked first. I have to
I
go
had
back.
Chan- I had Chanel Brady House, Willie Adames, and Jansen Junk. But Justin Ayers, I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join us once again on this episode. Make sure to go follow Justin on Instagram. Go subscribe to his YouTube. He does amazing stuff over there. Steven, thank you for joining me again for the 34th episode of um, Dinger Dudes. Stay tuned this Wednesday. We have Savannah Bananas umpire Vincent Chapman. You may know him as the dancing umpire joining the show. And stay tuned on Tuesday. I have Jake McGee, World Series champion, joining me on JD Baseball Show. And next week, I got Trevor Cahill joining the show as well. Justin, thank you so much again. And I hope y'all have an amazing day.